Welcome to another episode of Jazz and Beyond with me, Notemba. And, we come here for the jazz, we stay for a good time. And part of the good time, as always, and as I always say, is the fact that we get to be in enjoyable conversations with some of the most respected jazz musicians this country has ever produced. And today I am very happy because this has been a long time coming to have a musician who is a respected composer, a pianist, and, he's been celebrating not long, I think last year, the 30th anniversary of his landmark album, Trains to Tawong. I guess you know who I'm talking about. Paul Hanmer. He joins me on Jazz and Beyond. How are you, Paul?
I'm very well, Notemba.
I know I haven't spoken to you in years, and so much has happened within that time. And I'm so glad that we're having this opportunity to just delve into who Paul Hamner has become, what Paul Hamner has been up to, what he plans to do. And I love that you've been working on some great new music,
Hmm.
which I'm going to have an opportunity to share with the listeners of Jazz and Beyond. Um, but maybe let's start off with, I think, a very important part of what happened in 2025 is that, you know, your life was going on so beautifully. You are traveling the world and performing. And here you are with Feya Faku about to record um, probably another landmark recording, in Switzerland. And he passes on, and you're the last person to see him alive.
Yes, I am the last person to see him alive and the first person to see him not alive,
Not alive.
except that I wasn't aware that he had passed. I thought he was still
He was having his nap,
sleeping, yeah.
Yeah. How
Uh,
has that experience, without getting into too much detail, because I think um, people already know what actually happened at the
yeah.
time, but how has it impacted you since then?
In ways that I cannot even begin to describe because all the all the gigs that we had come to Basel to do together um, took place without Feya. Um,
Phew.
so from the very beginning, which was meant to be a trio with a beautiful bass player that he has recorded with um, Fabian Gisler.
Mm.
Um, the first gig was meant to be a trio with double bass, piano, and flugelhorn. And of course, that first gig took place on the 24th of June um, as a duo with Paul Hanmer and Fabian Gisler.
Mm.
And from there on, what was a quartet was a trio with Paul too, Paul Amareller, a
Mm.
beautiful drummer,
Yeah.
um, also based in Basel. And the the evening of um, the 26th of June was together with clarinet player, clarinet maestro Robert Pickup,
Mm.
with whom I recorded a duo album in 2018.
Yes. Yes.
He joined us, and then for the following two nights, there was a string quartet together with us.
Yeah.
So it was extremely um,
Emotional.
very, very emotional. Very, very emotional. Yes.
Were these his compositions? or
Um,
whose compositions were you performing?
well, we were performing a combination of his compositions
Mm.
and mine.
On yours,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
So um, it was very emotional to play songs like "Broken Light,"
Mm.
which Feya had written for Steve Bantu Biko,
Biko, yes.
and also to play
Reverence.
Reverence,
Mm.
and to play. I think we played Gratitude once as well, the song he wrote for
Mm.
Brahu
Mm.
Masakela,
Mm.
because I think in about 2013, Brahu gave Feya
A trumpet.
a trumpet,
Yes.
and he was extremely moved by that. So he wrote a song
Yeah.
simply called Gratitude in answer to that.
And he did that a lot in terms of his compositions being directed and paying tribute to people who were very significant in his life.
For sure.
What did this? What? Okay, just being with Kaya. I mean, with Feya. What have you taken away
Whew. I've taken
that
so.
that is sitting with you 24/7?
Well, what is sitting with me 24/7 is the fact that all the gigs that we were meant to do together
Mm.
were billed not as Feya Faku and Paul Hanmer, but as Paul
It's
Hanmer.
Paul Hanmer. Yes, I remember. Yeah.
And that I was talking to um, our hosts in Switzerland, especially in Basel,
Mm.
and particularly Veit Arlt. And I
Yeah.
asked him, about whether the fact of Feya and Paul as a duo, leading this project was not noted. And he said to me that Feya had stipulated that the gigs would be billed as Paul Hanmer Trio, Paul Hanmer Quartet, Paul Hanmer Quintet, Paul
He was.
Hanmer
He
Quintet
was.
with strings.
He was that kind of man.
He was that. So that is
Mm.
also what I am sitting with. He passed the baton on to me, and
Mm.
now what am I doing with it? You see,
Yeah.
and I received very good advice about what to do in terms of how I should handle it. In other words, I should speak to Feya and ask him what to do with it. That is what I have to do. So
Have you spoken to him yet?
I've spoken to him,
Okay, a lot of times.
but let's say I have to continue to speak to him.
Something says to me, he did that deliberately, like he knew
Yeah, I
that
hear
that I have to pass this on because my time is.
I hear you
You know what I mean?
absolutely, and this is also what I found myself saying to Veit Arlt and Robert Pickup and other
Mm.
colleagues and friends and my family and
Yeah.
Feya's family. And I believe that it was, I also wrote to the medical insurance company who was absolutely amazing, because
Mm.
they they gathered Feya's all his effects, his instruments, the things he brought with him to Basel, and Feya himself, and transported them
Wow.
all the way back to
Mm. Back to South Africa.
South Africa, not just to ORT, but
Mm.
to Gqeberha.
All the way to Kaberga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just amazing. And not to put too many stamps on it, but I
Mm.
believe that he came to Basel because he wanted to be at home from home.
Which it was for him.
Exactly.
Which it was for him.
That's it.
But you have now actually taken the baton because you have recorded some music, some new music, and some of the tracks are paying tribute to him.
Yes, and certainly these were live recordings in Basel.
In Basel, okay.
At the Bird's Eye, which we are talking about.
Which we're talking about.
Yes.
That's the Broken Light,
Yes.
Reverence. You've got Felizile.
Felizile.
And then there are some of your compositions.
Yes.
Which there's Musgrave, Maskandi.
Yes.
There's Adelaide.
All about Adelaide. Yeah.
Tambo.
Yeah.
There's Tattoo.
Yeah, there's Tattoo, which was written especially for this tour of ours.
Of yours. Whose tattoo are you referring to?
Well, it's more like a drum tattoo.
Ah.
So it's a drum pattern.
It's a drum pattern.
It's not an ink marking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But hey,
music
who knows?
speak. That's music speak.
Yeah.
And then you also have Mr. Richard, something, another one that you're paying tribute to somebody else.
Yes. Yeah. A dear friend of mine in Cape Town, Cornet Richards, who is very instrumental in converting the sense of purpose, mostly of women from Ekasi and on the flats in Cape Town, and it's a movement called Shoot for Purpose, which is a photography
project.
Yes, to enable women from the Cape Flats to better themselves and better their opinion of themselves, and review their function in their own lives and in other people's lives. So hence Shoot for Purpose.
For Purpose.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, very inspiring as well.
Yeah.
And also just interpreting that kind of purpose musically for you in this project.
Yeah.
You know. And I mean, you classically trained, you do the Maskandi kind of things, you do jazz, you do all sorts of music, you know, the orchestral stuff, and you blend all these in. You've done it in your compositions, you know. I like. There's a description that I read about how you do your music. I'm gonna find it, and then because I just like how, you know, it's described. It describes what you do. It's you know, because there's a township element in it. There's also as much as it's minimalistic, there's something also very cerebral about your compositions that make us ponder, think, and you know what I mean? Am I right or am I lying?
Well, I mean, as the writer and player of some of this music you are talking about, I cannot really comment as
to how I receive it.
Exactly. So I'm all ears.
You're all ears. And I mean, you've been in Johannesburg for years, but you come from Cape Town, and that Cape Town blood, Cape Town culture, Cape Town, you know, experience still plays an important role in your life, and also just how you see and view things. Because I think there's no running away from one's foundation.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no running away from it. I mean, I grew up in a very privileged home because of the fact that my parents were both lifelong teachers, and they decided to send me to piano lessons.
Mm.
And it's like if people were studying to play the kora and they went to the gambia,
Yeah.
I would say yes, that's fantastic.
Mm.
So in my case, playing the acoustic piano, I started with classical piano. People say the piano is a percussion instrument. They say it's an African instrument. They talk a whole lot of stuff, but
Mm.
many of them are not musicians. And what I'm trying to say is that I am fortunate in that I studied the roots of the piano, the music for which the piano was
Was
originally
originally created.
created to
Mm.
play.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I believe that was a good thing.
Because then you can now take that instrument and make it do things it was never created for.
Exactly.
And then you put your Paul Hamner into this thing as in um, I know this note is supposed to sound like this and be played like this, but what if?
Exactly. So that is what I have been fortunate to be
Oh.
able to try and do
Mm.
for a life in music. Um, and I mean, the late Chikapare Piri, the late Sibongile Kumalo, there are so many people. The late Johnny Clegg, for whom I wrote
Mm.
Musgrave Maskandi, actually, because of the way Johnny Clegg used to play the concertina,
Mm.
the Mfazo Mnyama move.
Yes.
Unbelievable how he played that instrument. I mean, he's often pictured playing a guitar, but when he played
The
Christmas Verum,
you
it was
yeah.
something else. He really sounded like out of remote part of southern Africa somewhere,
W-
even Malawi, wherever.
when did you get into jazz, and how did you get into jazz? Because you have, I mean, classically trained, and I just even trying to mention the number of people you've collaborated with, you've performed with, the Mama Miriam Makebas, and all these, like even with the Ray Piris um, and all these other musicians who are into different musical formats and styles, though. But that jazz bug, what exposed you to that?
Well, the first time I really got exposed to it was in high school through a friend of mine, Keith Dabisher, who still plays in a jazz band in Cape Town.
Mm.
And he was my classmate from Standard 6 to Matric. And while I was a student at Harold Cressy High School in Cape Town, he started to introduce me to Herbie Hancock and Chick Corea. And I mean, that was,
When you first heard Herbie,
yeah.
what happened to you? Were you like, where am I?
Well,
What is?
I knew that I was listening to someone with a
Mm.
serious classical background
Mm.
because of the way he made the piano and the Fender Rhodes,
Yeah.
but particularly the acoustic piano, how he made that instrument sound.
Mm.
You knew there was classical technique behind that, and that gave me a lot of faith in also Keith Jarrett.
Keith, I was gonna say,
Uh,
I also hear some Keith in your playing,
Hmm.
and I am certain that Keith has something to do with it.
Yeah,
Keith Jarrett. Mm.
definitely. Because the way he performed, especially with the Keith Jarrett trio, you
Mm.
know, with Jack DeJohnette
Yep.
and Gary Peacock, the Standards trio,
Oh,
the way
the many of those that are just incredible. Mm.
you know, and he makes it feel and sound so easy.
That was that what's the word I used earlier? Minimalist thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it sounds so minimal and so simple,
yes.
but yet so deep and uh, full. I don't know.
I
You know.
hear what you're saying.
Mm.
So to me, it's like, you know, young girls, 4, 5, 6, running through the fields, you know,
Yeah.
chasing butterflies or picking
Mm,
flowers. It
mm.
sounds
It's
like that.
light and it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, my goodness,
yeah, it's
it takes us on a ride.
taking in so much of what the piano can do, and what the
Mm.
music, these songs that were written so many years ago as stage show tunes from musicals and
Mm.
from movies and from theatrical pieces, um, which became, you know, the American standards.
Standards and in jazz as
Yeah,
well, and as well, you know.
exactly. So the 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 important thing, I think, is that to get into improvising and to tap into what are also folk roots from where you are
Yeah.
is very important. And I think
Mm.
it informs, to me, the most interesting improvisers to listen to from anywhere,
Yeah.
in whatever style they're playing. But if they tap into, you know, something that is close to their hearts and the folk idioms,
It makes it I would imagine much easier to then explore with your improvisation
there
when
you
you're
go.
tapping into the foundation or that who what you know.
That's the kind of thing.
Yeah. In fact, I watched a short video of Keith
Mm.
talking about improvisation, and he says he was saying something like, "I sit in front of the piano. I start with nothing, and I play one note, which will then take me to wherever I go. Kind of, like he doesn't plan what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Do you get that as well?
At the best moments, I get that. Yes,
Mm.
if I'm not 100% feeling at ease or have certain doubts, then I won't start from nothing like that.
Mm, mm.
I would feel it's too risky. But
Talking about doubts,
mm,
would those doubts obviously not have nothing to do with your talent, but maybe the environment, maybe the condition of the piano,
well, at times
or
the
maybe the maybe the musicians that you have to play with because maybe it's some commission thing or it's a project or you know I don't know.
well, all those
All
things,
those
all those
things.
factors that you mentioned.
Mm. Or maybe your state of mind.
Yeah, yeah,
There's things you've been anxious about. And,
yeah. So all these things that you
mm,
are mentioning, Notemba, are certainly factors that can, you know, affect the approach
ne?
that I would like to
Mm,
adopt, or
mm.
in my best dreams for myself. Yeah. So, and it's all they are all things that are to do with more a state of mind and spirit, and
Of course.
obviously they're very important. But the fact that they have so much bearing. But sometimes, for instance, if the piano is perhaps less than ideal, it creates curiosity,
Mm,
and it
mm,
creates an interesting place to start from. Um, and at other times, the perfection of a piano is just also an
mm,
inspiration.
an
Yeah,
inspiration.
yeah,
Actually, it reminds us of. Remember, he played a piano that was his most one of these famous, Keith Jarrett's famous albums.
the Köln concert.
Yes, that
Yeah,
that one where the piano wasn't tuned
yeah,
properly, and but look at what came out of that.
yeah. No, a recording that has really um, become a classic,
Yeah.
and also it is something that he was not prepared to do actually,
Mm,
because everything seemed to be working against,
that day. Yo.
and his back wasn't feeling
Yes, and
okay.
he's back.
And
Oh man.
yeah.
That chair, everything was just all wrong.
But
Let's get into what space Paul Hanmer was when he wrote, composed, recorded that landmark Trains to Taung album.
aha.
Was everything with the piano okay? Was the environment? We didn't have stress. I'm joking.
Well, the songs Trains to Taung, the
Mm.
actual song was actually written in 1990. Um, and
Just before our 1994.
yeah, yeah. So
I
uh,
don't. You notice I was just hesitant to say freedom.
yeah, because what I like is that when our kids were at primary school,
Yeah.
um, they came back to us with stories from their classmates, and a favorite saying was, "Yeah, freedom. Are you free or are you dom?
Yes.
Freedom." And I thought that was such
That
a
is,
whoever
yeah.
came up with that slogan was
Listen,
really
brilliant.
so brilliant. And these
Absolutely.
were maybe 8, 9 year olds,
Yeah.
Anyway, so um, but the thing of trying to make sense of what has happened and what is happening to us. I just don't know how most of us survive, because the cost of so many things um, is just skyrocketing all the time,
Yeah.
and it just becomes insane how prices just keep rising through the roof, and to kind of find a space of serenity or calmness, or
In the chaos
in the
is
it
is
becomes increasingly noisy out there, and
it's just finding a space of that quietness is a privilege.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Mm.
This is very true.
So from the days of Chains to Dawong,
Mm.
um, we don't take trains that much anymore.
No.
That's also part of the chaos. But that period, the 90s to now 2026,
Mm.
and in that period, I mean, you recorded other albums, Playola, which I guess is self-explanatory in the title. Um, you had Naivasha in 2002. You had Water and Lights. You had Accused Number One, Nelson Mandela, and so forth and so forth. And the one constant in the music was Paul Hamner and his tone and his sound and his. But the stories, obviously, these albums were telling. Um, were different. They were changing. They were stories of the time and the stories of your mindset and thought process at the time. So with this, new work that you're doing now and the projects that you're doing now, where's your mindset?
Yeah, my mind is at the place of trying to write for particular people who have a particular approach to their instruments, if at all possible. So,
Like what, for instance?
for instance, if I write for the sound of a tenor sax, I'm going to think of McCoy Mkhubata.
Yeah, we'll get into that relationship, that marriage.
And if I think of clarinets of any kind, piccolo clarinets, bass clarinet, then I think of Robert Pickup. And if it's viola, then I think of the lady who worked in the quartet with us in Switzerland and with me in 2008 and in 2023 and this time in 2025, Natalia Mosca, who is a colleague of Robert's with the Zurich Opera. And fabulous, obviously, goes without saying. Playing in that orchestra demands a lot. And she's just a fantastic instrumentalist. And then a former member of that quartet that has passed away, Daniel Bezzotti on cello. He was a fantastic cellist. But I also think of, the present cellist of that quartet. And if there's flute involved, then I think of these days, Batabile Faku. Because this young man is just incredible. And Feya himself
he's going places.
Was talking about his calmness on stage and his absolute self-control.
I watched him at his memorial perform, and I'm like, my goodness,
it's incredible.
He is, and again that calmness and in the playing where he's not performing.
No, he's not performing.
He's not performing, if you know what I mean.
He's like the late Alan Quella used to say, "I'm not a monkey." Thank you. But definitely not. He's not performing. Yeah.
What is it about the instruments of chamber music that fascinates you? Because you're talking about the cellos and the, all these.
Well, it's like this the small combo in jazz. The rhythm section with maybe one or two horns, or it's also a small group of instrumentalists. So sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 people. That's it.
But there's something about that sound that, is it your classical ear?
I would imagine it starts there, yes, because how to arrange these sounds or consider them and how they would blend and how they would carry the story of the song from beginning to end, and who you would give prominence to at any one point in the unfolding of the song. How to select a sound and give it to someone who has the spirit not of a machine but of a human being.
So it's not about the skill, it's also about being able to engage with that instrument on as you say, spiritual level.
At a spiritual level, but also at a physical
As
level.
the physical.
And to not make fun of those demands or to put those demands on a pedestal, but to acknowledge them and to say, well, playing ABC on the piano is different to playing ABC on the cello or on the violin or on the flute or on the saxophone, but to make it sound like those instruments were really meant to play ABC.
A respect to the instrument, so to speak.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, let's talk about these spiritual relationships, not with the instrument right now, but with this friendship, which I call a marriage between you and McCoy Mgovata, which has lasted over the years. What is it about the relationship between the two of you that you saw in each other, that you know, that or that you get about each other? Because no matter how the world has come and thrown whatever it's thrown at, you know, at everybody, it's been such a solid relationship. You're like brothers, you know, out of the same mother and father. What is it about the two of you? And I don't know whether both of you even talked about, because I've also received his new album. So now I don't know, you're working on a new album. Are you? Is he even is featured on this new stuff you're working on?
Well, this is I mean, my late father pointed out to me that, and this is years ago, obviously when he was still alive, you know, maybe 15, 20 years ago. And he said, no, this is not friendship, something like that. This is family, you know, you and McCoy. And, you know, obviously I tell McCoy that such things.
Yeah.
And he also shares with me the observations of different people who tell him special things about us, and people who tell me special things about the two of us. And it's like we didn't consciously set out,
of course,
to become this long-standing duo, this
kindred spirits that you have.
Yes,
you know?
this kind of thing. It's kind of just what landed up happening in and of itself, and in a way the descriptions and the people attaching labels to it and wanting us to look at it in a lot of detail, etc. Or they say things that land up making us look at the two of us in ways that we never expected to look at ourselves. In other words, we were just trying to get on with...
You were just living.
Yeah, the next best thing. And
yeah.
It seems almost, how can I say, artificial to try and hold a spotlight onto yourself.
Yeah.
And or take someone else's spotlight and shine it on yourself and look at yourself in the spotlight. And both of us have experienced this.
And also trying to put a label on it.
Yes.
And entitle it as what it is what it is.
Yeah.
It may not have, unless you're in it, you won't get it.
That's the kind of thing.
Kind of thing.
So
But it's I think a relationship to be admired, um, to aspire to, and knowing that you got that kind of brother who's got your back and you got his back, not only in your professional lives, but in your personal lives
Yeah.
as well. Um,
no, it's a gift.
mm,
Yeah, and it's a gift beyond McCoy, Mkhubata, and Paul Hanmer. I believe it comes from the supreme being, that for want
of a better word.
yes, I believe it comes from beyond us.
No, true.
Yeah.
What are you titling your new album, by the way? Are you not there yet?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That's
Thank
fine.
you. Thank
But in talking about new things, you're going to be performing in the Kuru,
Yeah.
and it's an incredible festival that is now on its fourth year,
Mm-hmm.
and also just the incredible thing about it is also how it celebrates, the culture, the music, the traditions of that part of the country.
Yes.
And being part of that for you is what?
Well, it's amazing, and it came through a connection with Siswam Brenda Sisane, who is part of the artistic and advisory committee
Of the Journey to Jazz Festival.
of the Journey to Jazz, as well as of the Prince Albert Community Trust. And just 2 weeks ago, I was in Prince Albert and working with young people for the Karoo Jazz Project, which is a very ambitious and beautiful project, which was basically started with Brenda Sisane, Ingrid Wolfart, Azuke Ntapane, and Ramon
Alexandra, yes.
as well as Kyle Shepard. And it's basically to guide the young people at primary school level, at high school level, and slightly older, to incorporate their songs, their rhymes, and their voices to belong to a movement that tries to bring the improvisational impetus into the young. So there are beat poets, and there are programmers of beats like Walden Earwitz and Claudia Hendricks. And in amongst all of this, I also got a chance to work with a young Uhadi player
Yes.
from KZN.
Zawadi.
Zawadi.
Zawadi, yes.
Yamungu.
She's incredible.
She's incredible. She's got such self-possession and
True.
confidence as someone.
I just love her journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. So this was also something that I was lucky enough to
be part of as well.
be part of. Just
what are you performing there? Are you going to perform this new material when at the festival?
I'm going to perform some of this new material
Okay.
at the festival, but I think one of the pieces I have to play is called Trains to Taung. I mean, what
Exactly.
a
I mean,
question.
what
Yeah.
what else are you gonna? We don't want you there if you're not gonna play that.
This is the message I
Mm,
am getting. And
yeah,
on the 30th of April,
yeah.
which is the first day of the Journey to
The jazz,
Jazz
yeah.
Festival this year,
Mm,
2026, I'm going to be performing as a trio together with Marlon Witboy
yes.
on drums
Mm,
and Nick Williams on electric bass.
lovely.
So that's what I
Do you
will.
have a new arrangement for Trains to Tao?
Every time it is played, it gets a new
A
arrangement.
new arrangement.
Yeah, and that I'm very grateful for. But the framework of it will remain very close to
Of course.
the original.
To the original.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're gonna upset us.
yeah, I believe so.
if you if you go off the track too much,
Exactly.
because the melody is so stuck,
Yeah.
and we, you know, I think some people have even worked out their own lyrics around the song.
My
You
goodness.
know what I mean? So do not disturb that melody.
No, I can.
Improvise all you want, but come back there.
Okay, I promise.
If you know what I mean.
I promise, Notemba.
You know, despite the fact that we talk about music, professional part of it, the career, the music styles, compositions, and all these, conversations that we may have, people tend to forget that musicians are outside of the stage or the studio are full human beings who have family, who have relationships, who have um, friendships, who have uh, everybody else's life challenges and successes. Um, and family, I know, is important to you. And what do you what more about when you're off stage? Is that your go-to place, family? When you're not talking to one or Temba, and where your place of peace and tranquility and soft life.
Well, I really try to um, spend as much um, non-work time as
Mm.
possible at home with my family. But of course, as time goes, they are, our daughters are on their way to being 25 years old and 27 years old.
Have their own lives now.
Yeah, and they're going places that I'm just so proud of because
Mm.
they are pursuing certain aspects of themselves which they've had since very young.
Yeah.
The one is dealing with the the radio sphere. Let's put it that way. It's not the atmosphere. It's not the starscape. It's beyond galaxies, etc.
Okay.
And the other is dealing with creative writing. She's pursuing that.
Mm.
So the fact that my daughters are pursuing these unbelievable things, and they've had the idea of pursuing things like this since they were 8 years old,
Mm.
each of them independently.
Independently.
And this is only part of the story of what they're into, you know. There was music. I mean, I taught my younger daughter, her first piano lessons,
Mm.
which discontinued with me, which is good, so that she could go to another teacher of piano.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, that's why I say it was good. Not because I was trying to discourage her from studying music, not at all.
Not at all.
Just, teaching one's own child to play the piano is probably not the
It's
best.
not the best thing.
Yeah.
But
And then with my older daughter, I
mm,
used to play all the piano parts as she was studying violin
mm,
for many
mm,
years, and
mm.
that was a very special time to spend with her. But I mean, it's been over 8 years
Yeah.
that this has not happened. She's pursuing something else now.
We have to wrap it up now, but
Mhm.
you're just leading me onto another path, actually, because one is, um, do you also believe that, you know, when kids are young and learning instruments to play music, has so much influence in in their creative uh, outlook towards life and what they want to do. It sort of gives them um a, a foundation to look at life in a different way.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And I believe part of that is also having taken them when they were very young
Mm.
um, to art exhibitions and also
Yeah.
to bookshops and poetry readings
Mm.
and movies and, you know,
It allows them
to,
to tap into a certain
yeah,
part of their brain,
absolutely.
which music does
Mm,
and wouldn't have otherwise.
yeah.
One last question. Sibongile Khumalo did a song paying tribute to your daughter. Was it, or was it you did a song and she wrote that the last album called Breathe. She did a song with you,
Sula Izinyambezi.
Sule Zinyembezi.
Mm.
Tell me that story.
That was a song which started life as The White Sand of the Flats,
Mm.
which was talking about the view of Table Mountain from the gravesite of a, a child that McCoy Mkhubata had with um, his first love.
Mm.
And this is something so yes, it was from a father
And a daughter,
and a daughter. But
relationship.
my relationship to
Mm.
visiting that place and
Mm.
viewing, and it's called the White Sand of the Flats because that's what I was standing on when Angela and I went together to stand at that graveside
Mm.
of Noneba
Ah.
and looking at the mountain from there. And we're deep in Gugs
Mm.
at that point.
Mm.
And we're standing on white sand, the white sand of the flats. So that was the title of the song before it got transferred into being Sula
Izinyembezi by Sibongile Khumalo.
Yebo.
That song it always just inspires a tear. It is absolutely. And i- thanks to her to bringing life into it
Yes,
like that,
yes. And also for asking to do it
to
with
do
that
it
particular
with
song.
that particular song, and
Mm.
also just the story behind it, the inspiration behind the song, and uh, it is a song that a lot of people could play and or listen to and relate to with, as we were talking earlier, how life around us is chaotic and you need
Yeah.
a moment and a space
Wow.
to be quiet.
This is so special.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say, I also think of the late Nonceba's mom,
Mom.
Tobeka.
Mm.
Tobeka. Yeah. So this is, it's very,
A special song.
yeah, it's a very deep and
And
very
absolutely
special thing that happened with that song too.
beautiful. I didn't want us to end on a somber note, but I think it was an important note
Thank you.
to definitely converse about. And I just want to thank you, Paul, for coming through.
Thank you.
All the best at the Journey to Jazz,
Thank you.
and which happens actually on the International Jazz Day.
That's correct.
You know, on 30th of April. And looking forward to sharing the music, the new music with my listeners on Jazz and Beyond. Because as much as we're here for the jazz, we also have good times, you know? Thanks, Paul Hanmer, and all the best.
Thanks so much to you, Siswam Notemba. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come for the jazz and stay for the good times.
On Jazz and Beyond with Notemba Madumo.
On 702 and Cape Talk.